He's got his own little group where they actually play instruments and trigger samples and stuff as well. I'll remember that for the next podcast.
Like, I've heard a couple of Dalek songs that you've played before that, and the two, one that was introduced through the listener one, and this one I'm not into. So
they're very good. Anyway, that's Dialect. Have some of that. What's your next one?
Killing Joke.
Ah, you fucking bastard!
Finally.
The
reason I wasn't going to put these on didn't occur to me is because we're so into them. We forget that they're not as big as we think they are, but that's not a bad thing. Well, big is a stupid fucking term. Anyway.
Yeah. They're definitely not as popular as we think they are, or should be.
Or should be, maybe. That's what it is. I'm sure they're exactly as popular as they want to be.
Yeah.
That's what I like about Killing Joke. Wherever they are, that's where they want to be.
Yes, pretty much.
I'm almost positive of that. I don't think there's any other way of putting it.
This, as far as I'm concerned, Killing Joke are one of the greatest bands to ever tread the boards. Like, they're just outrageous.
They do anything from industrial, synth pop, post-punk.
Yeah.
They started with post-punky kind of stuff, with a touch of industrial. Yeah. Gothic rock, and then obviously new wave. People will know them for Love Like Blood.
Yeah.
It's the biggest song. But they didn't play at the gig last time.
Play at the gig. They're outrageous. They're outrageous. There's a couple of career low points, but they're quickly outshone by their highlights.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people may also know them. If you don't know Killing Joke, there's a few things you'll know them from. One is obviously Love Like Blood. If you know, like, people will put them on one hit wonder 80s playlist, which just hurts me much.
Painful.
Because they wouldn't have even put that. They even admitted themselves that's a big money song for them.
Oh yeah,
they're happy enough with that.
Yeah.
They didn't really try and do it again. I don't think. Maybe
not really.
I don't know. At the same time, though, it sits badly with other 80s pop songs. Brilliantly badly. It's really dark and it's really aggressive. The song 80s as well is another one that's quite popular. And we all know the story behind that. That's the song that is very, very similar. Or sorry, I should say Nirvana's Come As You Are is very similar to it. And there was a big legal court case about that. Not court case, I didn't go to court.
Eventually, no,
because Kurt died, or else. You know what? They go back and ask Killing. It's a weird thing to ask Killing Joke about legal stuff because it's the record label we're doing, the ones going after it.
Yeah,
I'm sure Killing Joke were like, we're pissed off about it, but really don't. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to turn up a court or anything like that.
Imagine Jazz Coleman in court.
Order in the court! It'd be fucking amazing.
I am the court.
Assemble different jurors. Right, so a funny story about that is that the record label, presumably Geffen or something, was like, the lads said they'd never heard you. They said, well, we've got Christmas cards from Nirvana saying Happy Christmas.
Yeah.
They're definitely influenced. Nirvana definitely were influenced by Killing Joke. There's no other way. Loads of grunge bands were. It also does, to be fair, sound like Life Goes On by the Damned, but we won't talk about that. 1997, did you know that the Foo Fighters covered Requiem? I picked Requiem as the song, by the way. I keep forgetting to ask the song. But
Foo Fighters
we're more
covered
talking about the band.
Yeah.
They covered it on a B-side for Colour and Shape. I listened to it.
Is it shy?
It's not even shy.
It's just me.
It's just... Do you know what it is? It's the exact same music. Like the music, it's almost like a karaoke track of it. Where instead of him singing high, you know the way Jazz Coleman's a high and low vote? It's like two vocals singing at the same time. I don't know how his voice does it. It's like when he sings, it breaks off into two or three layers.
It's a couple of different spots.
It's really fucking incredible voice. It's like two or three different singers. And you would think that that's studio effects at first.
No, he just does that.
You just hear him talking.
Yeah.
And it's the same bellowing. Millions of frequencies.
That's all of his multiple personalities.
Talking at the same time. It's like that, except Dave Grohl is singing it all like, good man watching me. No thanks.
No.
So 2003, Killing Joke got Andy Gill to produce Andy Gill from Gang of Four to produce their other
second
self-titled album, which is an absolute.
It's just one of the greatest things ever made.
One of the greatest albums. Andy Gill, by the way, funny fact about Andy Gill from Gang of Four. He produced Red Hot Chili Peppers' first release, and they got into a fight in the first day or so because Anthony Kiedis looked at his notebook and underneath the song "Police Helicopter," he just wrote "shit."
There's a man after my own heart.
So there's Andy Gill from Gang of Four, produced Therapy, produced loads of fucking bands as well. Also, Gang of Four. I like Gang of Four a lot, man. Jazz Coleman apparently cornered Dave Grohl one time. Not cornered. Well, you know, it feels like he probably cornered him. He got him. And said, "You owe me fucking drums."
Yeah.
So Dave Grohl puts down drums on Killing Joke's 2003 self-titled, and the drums are so good.
They're so good. It's just ridiculous.
I can't imagine anyone else on it now.
Well, you watched that documentary, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So the documentary is called The Death and Resurrection Show, named after one of the title tracks off the self-titled album. And it's kind of what that album is known as. Very few people refer to it as the second self-titled album. They all call it The Death and Resurrection Show because of this documentary.
Yeah.
And so apparently it was all written and recorded. The entire album was written and recorded. They had just click-tracked it. That's all. There was just a beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, boop. To get Grohl in, I think in a day and a half, he just smashed out these fucking things. He listened to him once, went in. Like, I don't really like Foo Fighters. I'll go as far as to say I dislike the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl as a drummer is fucking outrageous.
So amazing.
He's fucking outrageous.
He always has been.
Forever.
Nirvana, it's just...
Flipper, whatever, all of them. Like, he apparently goes in, listens to it once, gets the little feel for it, goes in, does a layer of drums, says, go again, puts on another layer of drums, done, next track. Apparently done like 2 layers of drums on every track. That's why anybody, like when Killing Joke brought in a replacement drummer, because obviously Grohl, I think, might have played a couple of gigs with them, but he couldn't tour with them full time or whatever. They brought in another drummer. He had an awful hard time.
Really?
Because there's fucking mad shit going on. Mad shit going on with the drum kit.
The fills are great. And
Yeah,
they're
but-
so
The recording wise is just ridiculous. Just everything's gated to the fuck.
their drummer wasn't with them at the time, isn't that the case?
Their drummer just died, I believe.
No, but it's the original guy.
Yeah.
He's back in now.
There was a second guy
Right.
who died, I believe.
So we're talking about 2003 here.
Yeah. It literally might as well be a fucking life. So it's not far off 20 years ago.
Jesus.
But yeah, the documentary, the Death and Resurrection Show, which you can buy off, I think it's the Death and Resurrection Show.com. You can buy the DVD there. And it's literally, I've shown it to people who don't even know who Killing Joke are. And they've come back going, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It's so crazy.
It's fucking insane.
When you see a band that is so into their music that all the other shit that goes with music they don't give a fuck about. No. They really don't give a fuck about it.
100% done their own thing since day one.
And they're mad.
They're absolutely
It
mad.
has to be a bit mad.
Well, when I watch that documentary, they tell the story about how the band formed, and 2 of the lads were living in some shithole flat in London or wherever, and they wanted to get like a guitarist and a drummer or something together. So they stripped out all the carpet and painted pentagrams and sigils on the floor and lit a lot of candles and had like a little black mass and done a lot of like
they were mad into that.
Yeah. They had a little fucking black magic mass casting spells out into the universe to try and find these musicians to finish off their band, because Jazz is a classically trained I think violinist or cellist, but he plays keyboard and all that type of bollocks.
He originally played keyboard in Killing Joke when they were playing gigs and stuff.
And so apparently they went to the shop or something. They went to the offo to get a load of cans to get gargle and a bag of chips, and they came back, the entire apartment was in flames because the candles had caught the curtains or something and set the entire apartment block on fire. But while they were standing outside, this lad walks up with a guitar case and another lad walked up with a snare under his arm. Like, what's happening? Oh no, I think we burnt down the gaff. Turned around, it's 2 lads.
No way. Jesus Christ.
And that was the beginning of Killing Joke.
Killing Joke. Do you know what the greatest thing about them is? They are consistently putting out amazing albums. And their shows, I've been to see them I think 2 or 3 times now, and their shows are incredible. They're so powerful.
Always good.
If you don't really listen to Killing Joke much, there's a lot to choose from. If you don't like industrial, go to the early new wave stuff, but that's not really Killing Joke, to be perfectly honest with you.
Like, pretty much, I always say to people, what you want is you want the 2 self-titled albums. That's your bread and butter.
My intro was Laugh When Nearly Bought One, which is the same. It's the kind of compilation of them all. That was my first album I bought. And it's the one with the Nazis and the clergy on the front of it together, you know. But just before we move off, I know there's a lot of talk about Nirvana ripping them off. But did you know that Pearl Jam? Maybe it was by accident, but also have a song extremely close to Killing Joke. A big lift. Do you know the Jazz Coleman solo album that was, because the record label said you're not putting out as Jazz Coleman, there's no singles on it and it's garbage.
Yeah.
And loads of people left it. Like the bassist at the time left the album, so they don't want credit on that. And by the way, you're all dickheads.
Yeah.
Didn't get on with them at all. There's a song on that called Tiahuanaco. And if you listen to that and can't hear Pearl Jam Black so clearly by the end of it, they got away with fucking a lawsuit, I think, as well.
Really?
Perfectly honest.
Skipped it.
I do think.
They probably didn't want
they
to
couldn't do two grunge bands. Yeah,
they probably didn't want to bring attention to it.
So it's Killing Joke. You have to check them out. Requiem from 1980. From I think is Requiem on the self-titles? I think it is. Yeah, it is, yeah.
And War Dance and all that, I believe.
Yeah. Who's your next one?
My next one's going from fucking pillar to post here. My next one is Redman, the rapper. I picked the song "Time for Some Action" just because it's a fucking beast of a song. It's a beast of a song. It's off his debut album, which is called What the album. Redman likes spelling things wrong a lot. A lot. Def Jam. He signed to Def Jam in 1995, I think it was. But he was known before. He was a DJ for a group called Lords of the Underground. He was a DJ, and he kind of got picked up and taken under the wing by EPMD, who we mentioned in the 80s hip hop. Kind of got taken in underneath their wing, and I think he done a little bit like MCing, a little bit of guesting on for them. He was on one of their albums called Business as Usual, which would have been his first big kind of cameo, essentially. But you'll only ever really hear people talking about Redman when they talk about Method Man.
I thought Redman was in the Wu-Tang Clan.
No.
Wu-Tang Clan.
I do that all the time, don't worry. Wu-Tang Clan.
No, do you know what I do? Because it's in Portlandia. Did you ever see did you ever watch Portlandia?
I never watched it, no.
You should watch the hip-hop episode.
Okay.
You'd absolutely love it.
All right.
It's absolutely fantastic. So he's trying to... Before he goes to I just have to explain this really quickly. He's going to a Jay-Z gig. And apparently, I don't know if this really happens in real life, but it happens in the show where Jay-Z will point out someone in the audience and go, "What's your favourite moment of hip-hop?" Yeah. So he's terrified that that's going to happen to him. Okay. So she gives him a crash course in hip-hop. I swear to God. It's the funniest fucking thing. In the middle of it, he's just like, so much cursing. And he keeps going, Wu-Tang Clan. He's like, it's Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang Clan. So anyway, watch that episode of Portlandia Rappers. I'll just search it online.
All right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's why I weirdly thought Redman was in.
Yeah, no, Redman has he's done albums with Method Man, and they've always guested on each other's stuff. And Method Man is on his first album. I think they're like bestos, you know. They're just bestos. He
did a song with Fred Durst as well.
Yeah,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that song?
Yeah. He actually appeared on Tupac's All Eyes on Me album. He was on there. He was the rapper on Christina Aguilera's Dirty.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
that was him as well. He was on.
Yeah, see, you're probably right in the terms of underrated because for me, he always seems to feature on a lot of pop stuff. Like he's called in because he's great at coming in and doing a few bars and he's very making it brilliant.
Like, personality-wise, he's very witty and very like.
He is. Yeah,
like
I've seen interviews.
You see interviews and he's real sharp. You're like real sharp, and a massive kind of student of hip hop history and the game itself. He was on GTA Liberty City Stories as well. He had a song on there. But I never felt he got enough kind of kudos for his own work. And that's why I picked this song. This song is fucking outrageous. Time for Some Action. It's one of them absolute dropkick your grandmother down the stairs songs. It's just, it's driving, it's banging, it's just ridiculous. And it's got this, it's got, like we talked about in the other podcast where like the samples have to be fucked with to be good. They can't just be loops. You have to add some dirt onto them. Yeah. You have to fuck with that sample. It can't be just, you can't just grab a bass line or a little drum loop and have it just going. You have to mess with it. You have to fuck with it. And he's the king of it. His sample work is fucking shit hot. And there's a particular sound.
What is Busta Rhymes?
Kind of.
He fucks with shit.
Yeah, like there's it's like this weird kind of filters and everything's just kind of dragged through the mud before you get to it, you know? And everyone has a particular sound that they strip something out of it so they can add it in via an extra instrument or something. The album, There's a Dark Side, done real well. His first single, I think, was called Rockefeller, which is a pretty big song as well.
There's so much hip-hop, Gar.
I know, it's bananas. It's
even watching that documentary, I'm like, there's too much.
Yeah, there's too much. So much cursing. But yeah, here's a cool little fact for you. So do you remember The Dog Whisperer, the TV show.
With
Caesar Milano.
Caesar Milano, yeah.